There's a tiny mousekeeper who keeps coming to tidy up a Welshman's shed overnight, and there's also this husky who saved his entire neighborhood block when he wouldn't stop digging holes in his yard. Plus, there's this bloodhound who went missing and then came home with a medal after accidentally running a half marathon. And this stray dog who finally got his purple unicorn after trying to steal it from a Dollar General 5 times. These were the 4 most popular stories from my page in the last month, so I need to know what your favorite was so I can put it in the running for the top story of the year. Your first option, a man in Wales couldn't figure out why he kept waking up to a tidied up shed after he was leaving things out on his workbench, and said that every time he left something out, it would end up in this box in the morning. So he set up a camera to figure out what was going on and found that this tiny mousekeeper was coming by every night to clean up. Rodney named the mouse Welsh Tidy Mouse, and he said that it seems like he's using the box to store his peanuts that he finds around the bird feeders, and then he's placing the little objects on top to keep them hidden. Whatever his motivation is, Rodney says that he's happy with the situation, as he doesn't need to tidy up so much anymore, as his mousekeeper rarely misses a night of cleanup. Your second option is this husky named Kobe who lives in Philadelphia and suddenly picked up a digging habit last month. He'd never really been much of a digger, so his owner Chanel thought it was weird that he suddenly picked up the habit, and he was doing it non-stop, constantly asking to go out in the front yard to make his hole by the sidewalk bigger. And instead of just getting frustrated by the new habit, Chanel trusted her instinct that Kobe was trying to tell her something. She investigated by the hole and didn't see anything, but she did have a gas detection device on hand due to a prior leak, and when she put it up to the hole, it immediately detected a lot of gas. When a crew came out to fix the problem, they said that if it hadn't been detected now, it could have become a much bigger problem for the entire block, and if that happened, it not only could have caused long-term health problems for Chanel and her neighbors, but it also could have become so bad that something as simple as a light switch could have caused an explosion. The crew spent 3 days fixing the problem, and in the process found and repaired 3 other major gas leaks nearby, all thanks to Kobe's determination and Chanel's intuition. Your third option is Ludovine the Bloodhound, who got loose one day and came home wearing a medal after accidentally running a half marathon and placing 7th. Ludovine lives on a farm in Alabama and got out of her yard one day during a routine bathroom break. Because she's a curious bloodhound living on a lot of land, it's not uncommon for Ludovine to spend a long time outside. So her owner April didn't really think anything of the fact that she didn't come back inside right away, until one of her friends who was volunteering at the local half marathon sent her this picture of Ludovine wearing a medal a couple hours later. While she was out, Ludovine apparently noticed that a large group of people had gathered by the start line of the event, and she went over to join them. When they all started running, she must have thought that they were chasing something spectacular, and she ran too. She ended up placing 1st in the women's division and 7th overall, with a finishing time of 1:32.56. Fellow runners say that her time could have been better, but she did stop to hang out with some cows about halfway through. And last but not least, your fourth option is this stray dog who attempted to steal this purple unicorn from a Dollar General store 5 times, and didn't go home empty-handed thanks to the animal control officer who was called on him. The dog had made a habit of standing outside the front doors and waiting for them to open, and then making a beeline to the back of the store where the stuffed animals were and picking up this same purple unicorn. He would try to quietly walk out the front door with his unicorn, but each time his heist was interrupted by an employee who would take the unicorn and then put it back on the shelf. After 5 attempts, the employees eventually called animal control, and the officer who arrived, Samantha Lane, immediately developed a soft spot for him and bought him the $10 plush. The dog was named Sisu by a shelter worker, and they waited and searched for someone to claim him, but nobody ever did. So he and his unicorn were put up for adoption together, and they had no trouble finding a forever home. So which one is your pick for January's top story?